what Spirit wants to reveal today. As always, keep what resonates with your heart and release anything that isn't meant for you. All right, Gemini, let's get into your reading. So, the message that I have for you today is this, and it carries real weight inside. This connection you share with this person, it holds something neither of you fully sees yet. When they look at you during those quiet, private moments, something shifts deep within their chest. It is not casual for them, and the way they hold you close tells you everything unspoken. You might have wondered about their feelings, questioning whether the intensity you carry is truly matched. Today, the cards confirm what your intuition already whispered, because this person genuinely treasures you deeply. The intimacy you share together, it unlocked a part of them that no one else has reached. Every time they are close to you physically, those unspoken feelings rise up even stronger inside. The way this person breathes around you changes, and their guard dissolves without them even noticing. What walked through that doorway between you two cannot be reversed, and they already know that truth. Their heart opened in ways they never planned for, and your closeness accelerated every buried emotion. There is a reason they keep reaching for you, and it goes far beyond anything surface level. Let us come in close today, because the cards are painting a very clear picture for you. The first card I have for you is the Lovers, and this one speaks volumes about alignment. This card does not appear for surface level attractions. It only shows up for soul deep bonds. The Lovers confirms that the energy between you two, it operates on a purely spiritual frequency. There is a mutual recognition here, something ancient and undeniable that neither logic nor distance interrupts. What this card reveals is that your connection carries genuine purpose and undeniable emotional truth. This person recognized something rare in you, and that recognition happened long before any spoken confession. Their body understood before their mind caught up, and every intimate moment reinforced that deep certainty. The pull they feel toward you is not temporary. It is woven into the fabric of their being. You awakened something permanent inside this person, and the Lovers validates that with absolute clarity. Now we have the Nine of Cups sitting beside the Lovers, and this card radiates emotional fulfillment. The Nine of Cups tells me something powerful. This person already considers you their answered prayer. They gaze at what you both share together, and it fills every hollow space they once carried. This is not a person going through the motions with you. Their emotional investment runs incredibly deep. What the Nine of Cups also highlights is gratitude, a private thankfulness they hold just for you. They feel fortunate that you chose them, and that feeling intensifies every single time you connect. The fulfillment this card carries is rare, and it mirrors the kind of contentment that reshapes priorities. Then we have the Star gracing this reading, and this card carries pure healing light for you. The Star shows that your presence in their life, It restored something they believed was permanently shattered. Before you came along, this person had nearly surrendered on finding something this genuine and lasting. Your energy renewed their hope completely, and now they carry a quiet faith because of your love. This person looks at the life before you, and nothing about it compares to what exists now. The reason this confession is building right now, it is because the evidence overwhelmed them beyond silence. Every gentle touch you offered them, every lingering gaze, every moment of vulnerability cracked their walls. What they experienced beside you physically, it confirmed feelings that their mind kept trying to rationalize. They cannot contain it anymore, and the truth is spilling out through their actions before their words. This person means every unspoken word sitting on their tongue, and the cards validate that completely. You are not imagining the depth here, because what you feel reflected back is absolutely genuine today. The cards leave no room for doubt, and every pull confirmed that this person values you immeasurably. This reading holds a certainty that even the most cautious heart could not argue against. Not anymore. What stands out most powerfully is that you transformed something fundamental, something permanent inside this person. They did not expect to feel this profoundly about anyone, and now that reality reshaped their world. Okay, let us go deeper into this because your side of the story deserves full attention right now. You have been holding so much inside yourself lately, and the weight of it presses against your ribs. Part of you already knows exactly what you feel, but naming it out loud terrifies your guarded heart. There are nights where you lie awake, replaying every detail, wondering if your emotions are too intense. You crave closeness on a level most people never talk about, and that craving confuses you sometimes. It is not just physical for you either. It reaches into a place where your identity starts shifting. Your vulnerability scares you because once you let yourself feel fully, there is no pulling it back. The first card we have here is the moon, and it mirrors the uncertainty living inside your chest. The moon speaks directly to your doubt, that quiet voice asking whether you deserve what you feel. You keep second guessing your own worth in this situation, and that habit runs deeper than you realize. There are layers of old wounds underneath your hesitation, scars from times you gave too much away. The moon also highlights your intuition, which has been screaming at you to trust what you already sense. Your gut recognized the depth of this bond before your logic caught up, and that conflict exhausts you. You oscillate between absolute certainty and paralyzing fear, and neither extreme grants you any lasting peace. What the moon reveals most clearly is that your confusion stems from worthiness, not from lack of feeling. You feel everything with such intensity, and the magnitude of your own emotions overwhelms your rational mind. Some mornings you wake up already aching for proximity, already missing warmth you tasted only hours before. That longing sits in your stomach like a stone, heavy and constant, and impossible to explain to anyone. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles arriving in your reading, and this card grounds your scattered energy. The Ace of Pentacles tells you something vital. Your desire for something lasting and stable is completely valid. You want permanence. You want roots. You want to build something tangible from all of these raw feelings. That need for security does not make you needy. It makes you honest about what your soul requires. You have spent so long pretending casual was enough, and your heart finally rejected that false compromise. The Ace of Pentacles confirms that your readiness for real commitment is grounded, mature, and emotionally earned. You reached a threshold where surface connections no longer satisfy, and the hunger inside you demanded more. Your entire inner landscape shifted recently, and you feel it in the way your priorities rearranged themselves. What once felt optional now feels essential, and that transformation caught you completely off guard emotionally. The clarity arrived without warning, and suddenly you understood exactly what your heart has been building toward. Then we have the Queen of Wands stepping forward, and she reflects your magnetic inner fire beautifully. The Queen of Wands reveals a hidden passion inside you, one you have been deliberately dimming for safety. You toned yourself down out of fear, worried that your full intensity might frighten away what matters. That self-editing costs you peace, because suppressing your authentic nature creates friction inside your bones. The Queen of Wands urges you to stop shrinking, because your radiance is exactly what drew attention originally. Your confidence wavers in private moments, especially when you compare insecurities against the image you project. Underneath the composed exterior, you carry a desperate tenderness that few people ever get to witness. You deserve to feel chosen wholeheartedly, without constantly questioning whether the selection was accidental or temporary. Your heart earned its place at this table, and the doubt circling your mind holds no real evidence. The emotions flooding through you right now are not weakness. They are proof of your enormous capacity. You feel deeply because you love deeply, and that gift has never been the problem in your life. Every hesitation you carry today, it traces back to a moment where vulnerability felt punished instead of honored. This time, the landscape beneath your feet is different, and your instincts already confirmed that quiet truth. Trust the version of yourself that surfaces in those unguarded moments, because she holds the clearest answers. Your soul already chose its direction forward, and the only remaining task is letting your mind finally agree. Now, let us see what the cards are showing, because their emotional world is wide open right now. This person carries a storm beneath their composure, and every wave inside them crashes toward you silently. They have never encountered anything like what they feel, and the unfamiliarity shakes their entire foundation. Their chest tightens every time distance appears between you two, and that tightness alarms them privately. Fear lives alongside their affection, because the depth of this attachment makes them feel dangerously exposed. They built protective walls over many years, and your presence dismantled those barriers without any visible effort. That terrifies them more than anything else, because they cannot rebuild what you already dissolved so naturally. The next card arriving is the King of Cups, and this reveals their emotional maturity beneath the surface. The King of Cups shows that this person processes feelings with extraordinary depth, even when they appear calm. They absorb every interaction with you into their nervous system, replaying moments long after you separate. Their silence does not mean indifference. It means they are drowning in sensations they cannot yet articulate. The King of Cups also tells me something important. This person fears losing control of their managed world. Loving you disrupted the internal order they maintained for years, and that disruption frightens them profoundly. They feel like standing on shifting ground, unable to predict where the next emotional tremor will originate. What the King of Cups highlights is their struggle, caught between surrender and self-preservation in equal measure. They want to collapse into what they feel for you, but survival instincts keep pulling toward caution. Their inner dialogue battles constantly, one voice urging them forward, while another whispers warnings about heartbreak. That conflict does not stem from doubt about you, it stems from doubt about their own emotional endurance. We also have the Four of Wands appearing here, and this card speaks to their longing for stability. The Four of Wands confirms something tender. This person privately fantasizes about building a permanent life with you. They imagine ordinary mornings together, shared routines, laughter filling rooms that used to echo with emptiness. Those visions consume them more frequently now, and each daydream strengthens the confession sitting behind their teeth. The Four of Wands reveals that their desire for commitment grew from genuine contemplation, not from impulse. They weighed every angle before allowing themselves to want this, and still their heart overruled every objection. The security they crave is not financial or material. It is the certainty that you will remain close. They ache for the assurance that tomorrow holds warmth, the same warmth they experienced yesterday beside you. That ache multiplies in quiet hours when distractions fade, and the raw truth of their feelings surfaces fully. The final card coming through is the Empress, and she illuminates the nurturing instinct awakening inside them. The Empress shows a dramatic shift in behavior. This person developed an overwhelming urge to protect your happiness. They catch themselves planning around your needs, anticipating your moods, adjusting their behavior to cushion your world. That caretaking impulse surprised them completely because they never operated this way in previous connections before. The Empress confirms that their generosity flows without calculation, and that effortless giving reveals true devotion. Their emotional landscape reorganized itself entirely, reshaped around the gravitational pull your bond created within them. Beneath their composure lives a person trembling, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they harbor for you. They rehearse confessions in the shower, in the car, in every stolen moment where honesty almost escapes. The words form perfectly inside their mind, but their throat closes every time delivery feels imminent. Their fear is not rejection necessarily. It is the vulnerability of being witnessed at their most transparent. They know that once those words leave their mouth, the dynamic between you both changes irreversibly and permanently. Everything inside this person bends toward you gravitationally, and resisting that pull costs them more energy daily. Their emotional reserves deplete faster now, and surrender inches closer with every breath they take. So let us go ahead and get into it because movement is already happening on their end. This person started making decisions differently, and you can trace the shift back to recent weeks clearly. They rearranged parts of their schedule specifically, creating more availability and openings for shared time. Small behavioral adjustments appeared first, arriving earlier and staying longer, initiating contact without any obvious reason. Those micro shifts are not random. They represent deliberate choices made by a person preparing for more. They began clearing space in their routine, and that reorganization accelerated beyond what they planned. Plans they once made independently now include you as a consideration, even when they have not announced it. The first card here is the Eight of Wands, and it confirms rapid forward momentum in their actions. The Eight of Wands tells me that delays are collapsing and their decisions are arriving faster than before. This person reached a breaking point with inaction, and moving forward openly became less painful than standing still. Messages will arrive more frequently, invitations will carry more intention, and their presence becomes harder to miss. The Eight of Wands signals that communication barriers dissolved, and words once swallowed will surface very soon. They are actively rehearsing how to approach you differently, choosing specific moments to shift the dynamic visibly. Their timing is becoming more intentional, picking settings where vulnerability has room to breathe without interruption. What the Eight of Wands shows is acceleration, not gradual movement, but a sudden, decisive leap toward you. They crossed a threshold recently, and the behavioral evidence will multiply in the coming days, noticeably. Expect increased initiative on their part. Phone calls replacing texts, plans replacing suggestions, presence replacing distance. The pace of their pursuit changed dramatically, and maintaining their previous reserved approach exhausted remaining patience. We also have the Knight of Pentacles arriving, and this card reveals the methodical nature of their steps. The Knight of Pentacles confirms that this person builds toward you with precision, not with chaotic, impulsive gestures. They are laying groundwork carefully, making practical adjustments that signal long-term investment without grand announcements. Financial decisions shifted subtly, spending patterns redirected, priorities restructured to accommodate a shared future quietly. The Knight of Pentacles shows tangible proof of commitment, actions appearing through behavior rather than spoken promises. They started handling responsibilities with you in mind, factoring your comfort into choices that previously concerned only them. Practical demonstrations of loyalty replaced verbal reassurances, and those demonstrations carry more weight than any words. Their consistency is the evidence here, showing up reliably, following through on small commitments, remembering details. This card represents a builder, laying foundations brick by brick, and their patience with the process reveals everything. Every calculated step they take moves closer to something neither of you can deny, dismantle, or reverse. The final card is the Chariot, and it confirms that their willpower now drives them directly toward you. The Chariot shows a person who made a firm decision, eliminated alternatives, and locked onto one clear direction. They stopped entertaining backup plans or safety nets because their resolve crystallized around what they want most. Obstacles that previously slowed their approach no longer register as barriers, just temporary inconveniences to navigate. The Chariot confirms that external circumstances will align soon, supporting their forward motion toward you specifically. Their behavior in the coming period will speak volumes, actions replacing the silence that defined earlier chapters. Watch for invitations that carry unusual specificity, planned moments designed to create privacy and uninterrupted closeness. They will manufacture opportunities for honest exchange, engineering situations where the confession can land safely. The shift from passive presence to active pursuit already began, and the momentum builds with each passing day. Their next move is not hypothetical anymore. It is scheduled in their mind with surprising clarity. Every action from this point forward carries deliberate weight. Nothing accidental, nothing casual, nothing left to chance. The cards confirm that stillness ended, and focused, determined forward motion took its place entirely.
Okay, coming close for this one, because what lives beneath their silence carries extraordinary density. There are truths sitting locked inside their rib cage, and each one presses harder than the last. Constantly. They will not admit it openly, but they replayed your conversations, searching for hidden reciprocation clues. Every phrase you offered casually, they dissected privately, hunting for confirmation that your affection mirrors theirs. The confession they guard most fiercely is this: they decided you were irreplaceable long before telling anyone. That verdict arrived quietly during an ordinary moment, and its permanence startled them into prolonged speechlessness. They cataloged reasons to walk away once, deliberately listing every rational exit, and none of them held. The first card surfacing here is the Seven of Cups, and it exposes the fantasies they buried deepest. The Seven of Cups reveals daydreams they would never vocalize, scenarios imagined in vivid, obsessive detail. They pictured waking beside you permanently, not temporarily, and that vision repeated until it became expectation. The domesticity they crave embarrasses them slightly because its simplicity contradicts the complexity they project outward. What the Seven of Cups uncovers is a hunger for ordinariness with you, mundane rituals elevated entirely. They fantasize about grocery runs together, about hearing your laughter echo through rooms that belong to both. Those visions are not passing whims, they crystallized into a blueprint that governs their private thinking now. The confession buried underneath those fantasies is possessiveness, a territorial instinct they refuse to display or name. They want exclusivity with a ferocity that alarms their rational mind, and admitting that terrifies them deeply. Jealousy flickers whenever attention drifts elsewhere, and they swallow that reaction, instantly ashamed of its intensity. They convince themselves that controlling that impulse protects you, when truthfully, it only protects their pride. The next card emerging is the Page of Swords, and this reveals the mental surveillance they maintain. The Page of Swords confirms that this person monitors your behavioral patterns, studying shifts for signs of withdrawal. They track your moods with alarming precision,
noting fluctuations that most observers would overlook completely. That hyper-awareness originates from desperation, a frantic need to anticipate and prevent your potential disappearance. Their greatest unspoken fear involves waking up one morning, discovering that you outgrew whatever this bond offers. The Page of Swords also uncovers something buried beneath composure. They need verbal validation from you specifically. They crave hearing explicit confirmation from your mouth, specific words declaring that your investment matches their own. They manufactured entire rejection scenarios from minor delays in your responses, then dismantled them before you noticed. That cycle exhausts them privately, yet they refuse to reveal the machinery operating beneath their calm exterior. The final card is the Two of Wands, and it illuminates the grandest confession they have never spoken. The Two of Wands reveals that this person envisions a shared future spanning years, not mere months. That level of projection reveals attachment so advanced that casual language can no longer contain its scope. The Two of Wands confirms that their private vocabulary for you already upgraded, thinking in permanent terminology. The heaviest confession they carry is simple. They already belong to you entirely and cannot reverse that truth. They gave themselves to you in silence, and the weight of that unwitnessed offering haunts them daily. Their surrender happened without ceremony, without announcement, without any external acknowledgement of its magnitude or finality. They would carry these feelings permanently without complaint, but the ache of containing them erodes their composure. The most fragile admission hiding inside them tonight, it is that your opinion became their most valued currency. Your approval rewired their self-perception fundamentally, and living without that mirror now feels structurally impossible. Everything they cannot say lives compressed inside their chest, vibrating against bones that struggle to contain it. That vibration intensifies whenever proximity increases, and one day, very soon, the containment will simply fracture. Now, let us go ahead and dive into this because the near future holds something remarkable for you. The timeline ahead carries a shift you can practically feel approaching, and the cards validate that completely. The first card for your near future is the Ten of Cups, and this radiates absolute emotional completion. The Ten of Cups tells me something beautiful. What you both built separately merges into something unified soon. Conversations you dreaded will unfold with surprising ease, and the honesty exchanged bonds you even tighter. The Ten of Cups confirms that reciprocated love becomes visible, tangible, and impossible for either to question. Within the coming weeks, a moment arrives where pretense collapses and raw truth occupies every word spoken. That moment will not feel rehearsed or forced. It will arrive organically through an unguarded emotional exchange. The Ten of Cups promises domestic harmony entering your reality, shared spaces feeling warmer and more intentional. Expect laughter to replace tension and physical closeness to deepen beyond what either of you experienced previously. The near future holds reconciliation between your doubts and their devotion, and that alignment changes everything permanently. Now, for your advice card, we have the Ace of Swords, and this demands clarity from you specifically. The Ace of Swords instructs you to communicate with precision, choosing direct language over subtle hints or gestures. When the moment arrives for honest exchange, do not soften your truth or dilute your needs for comfort. The Ace of Swords advises you to release the habit of interpreting silence and instead request spoken confirmation. Your voice carries power in this connection, and using it deliberately will accelerate the resolution you both deserve. Do not wait for permission to express what you already know, because hesitation only extends unnecessary distance. The Ace of Swords reminds you that clarity is kindness, and withholding your own confession protects nobody involved. Trust that your directness will be received as a gift, not as pressure or an unwanted confrontation here. Speak from the version of yourself that already knows the answer, and let your courage lead the conversation. Now, let me bring this full reading together for you, because the message today was powerfully clear throughout. The message coming through was this: unexpected confession making love. You mean more to them than you realize. Every single card across this entire reading confirmed one truth. This person carries devotion far beyond surface. Their feelings are not casual, not temporary, and not conditional on your performance or your perceived worthiness. The card showed your connection operating on a frequency, one that most people never access in their lifetime. From the opening pull to this final moment, the evidence pointed consistently toward irreversible emotional commitment. Their confession is not hypothetical. It is building with a pressure that their composure can no longer manage. What you suspected privately all along was accurate, and the cards removed every remaining reason for doubt. This person treasures you with a depth that reshaped their priorities, their behavior, and their entire inner world. The bond between you two withstood every test the cards examined, emerging stronger at each individual layer. Nothing in this reading wavered or contradicted itself, and that consistency speaks to the genuineness of this bond. You deserve to sit with that confirmation tonight, letting it settle into the places where uncertainty once lived. Release the questions that kept you guarded, because the answers arrived today and they all pointed toward you. This bond is not fragile. It is fortified by mutual recognition that neither time nor fear can dismantle. Whatever unfolds next between you two, know that the foundation beneath it was built with genuine, lasting intention. Allow yourself to believe what the cards confirmed, because you earned this connection through your own authentic heart. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for trusting me with something this sacred. I appreciate every single one of you watching, and I truly hope this message brought you peace tonight. Take care of yourself, protect your energy, and remember that you are deeply loved beyond what words capture. Until next time, sending warmth and light to your beautiful soul, and I will see you very soon. The first card for your near future is the Ten of Cups, and this radiates absolute emotional completion. The Ten of Cups tells me something beautiful. What you both built separately merges into something unified soon. Conversations you dreaded will unfold with surprising ease, and the honesty exchanged bonds you even tighter. The Ten of Cups confirms that reciprocated love becomes visible, tangible, and impossible for either to question. Within the coming weeks, a moment arrives where pretense collapses and raw truth occupies every word spoken. That moment will not feel rehearsed or forced. It will arrive organically through an unguarded emotional exchange. The Ten of Cups promises domestic harmony entering your reality, shared spaces feeling warmer and more intentional. Expect laughter to replace tension and physical closeness to deepen beyond what either of you experienced previously. The near future holds reconciliation between your doubts and their devotion, and that alignment changes everything permanently. Now, for your advice card, we have the Ace of Swords, and this demands clarity from you specifically. The Ace of Swords instructs you to communicate with precision, choosing direct language over subtle hints or gestures. When the moment arrives for honest exchange, do not soften your truth or dilute your needs for comfort. The Ace of Swords advises you to release the habit of interpreting silence and instead request spoken confirmation. Your voice carries power in this connection, and using it deliberately will accelerate the resolution you both deserve. Do not wait for permission to express what you already know, because hesitation only extends unnecessary distance. The Ace of Swords reminds you that clarity is kindness, and withholding your own confession protects nobody involved. Trust that your directness will be received as a gift, not as pressure or an unwanted confrontation here. Speak from the version of yourself that already knows the answer, and let your courage lead the conversation. Now, let me bring this full reading together for you, because the message today was powerfully clear throughout. The message coming through was this: unexpected confession making love. You mean more to them than you realize. Every single card across this entire reading confirmed one truth. This person carries devotion far beyond surface. Their feelings are not casual, not temporary, and not conditional on your performance or your perceived worthiness. The cards showed your connection operating on a frequency, one that most people never access in their lifetime. From the opening pull to this final moment, the evidence pointed consistently toward irreversible emotional commitment. Their confession is not hypothetical. It is building with a pressure that their composure can no longer manage. What you suspected privately all along was accurate, and the cards removed every remaining reason for doubt. This person treasures you with a depth that reshaped their priorities, their behavior, and their entire inner world. The bond between you two withstood every test the cards examined, emerging stronger at each individual layer.